Hello and welcome. Before we get stuck in this week, I've got a little favour to ask from you. I need as many likes and subscribes as I can get. That will help YouTube's algorithm just push my videos to the top. Thank you for that. Now let's get stuck in. I am of course still Rain. This is my craft channel and hopefully you're still you. This week I'm going to be doing a box diorama, which will be the first in a series of box frame dioramas, and this one was based around a alchemist's workshop. So there's lots of little potions and little bottles of beads and orbs and glowing things going on. So this is what it looks like. Let's show you how I made it. So I started off with a box frame. Now initially I was going to keep the glass in, and some of the dioramas that I'll do in the future I will keep the glass in, but I did decide to get rid of that glass just for this project, so it gave me a bit more space for things to be able to stick out. Now I used a lot of popsicle sticks in this project. I was just laying out a rough diagram there of where I wanted the shelves, and I went straight in with making the fireplace. As you can see, I've cut up some little sticks which I'm going to use as bricks. Now these little sticks are coffee stirrers that you can pick up in most coffee shops. Just ask them if you can take a few, maybe even make a donation, and I'm sure they'll be happy enough. They are indispensable when using in crafts. Here I've cut them up and used them as bricks for the fireplace surround. Just making the mantelpiece top there, and I use those little sticks to go round the mantelpiece just to give it a little shelf-like edge. You'll see that in a second. There we go, almost complete. I will add another few little stick bits just for act as bricks. There you go, you can see that there. Now we're going to skip to a bit where I created a little shelf just to go in using popsicle sticks and a bit of wire. And then I've set all that into the frame with those upper shelves where I wanted them, with the lights already starting to be put into place. Now I've got a general layout of all the fixed pieces that I want on the frame. I'm going to go ahead, take those lights down and make sure they're in the places that I want them to be. Before we can move on with anything, we're going to need to make all that light wood dark. I want this to look a little bit darker. I used ink here to stain the wood, and I do go over it with a bit of paint just to give it the sort of aged old wood look that I wanted. I go on to paint the back grey, as you can see there, and again use some of those small popsicle sticks to act as little bricks here and there. I used some cork dusting here just to give the back a bit of texture, and I'll later go over that with a darker colour. So there we go, you can see me painted it over there. And also I'll go in and colour all the corners just to make it look a little bit darker in the areas I wanted it to look dark in. This really is a cheap and effective technique, and I recommend it to anyone. Now let's skip to the good bit. I wanted to make some little box frames, and I made these again out of those coffee stirrer sticks and some cardboard behind. Really easy to make, and again really effective. I will paint these brown to match the there we go, to match the rest of the room, and I filled them with some tiny objects that I had. Now here is a load of pictures and imagery that I was going to plan to use in the project, but turns out they're all too big, so you'll never see these again. Forget them. And straight in with where we want to place all the little objects. I've already done the fireplace there. I simply used a bit of black card cut into a fire shape and put some colours behind it, making sure the light shone through. Here I'm making some little bottles of potions out of resin, and I'm going to place these little bottles around. I wanted to make sure that the top bottles and one in the middle glowed, so I was just playing around with the colours, seeing what fit where and what worked well. I've already gone ahead and placed a little lantern in the top left corner there, and the same grate on that I used on the fireplace is just that plastic canvas stuff that I've used in cross stitch before. Really handy when making miniatures and stuff like that, and creating a great like look. Now this should have been a clip of me building the little shelves, but for some reason I didn't film it, so what you have instead is me fumbling around with some of the little books that I made to go inside the little shelves. I then go on to put another potion bottle on top and some little cups in the in-between. There we go, you can see it there. I also used some beads that I stuck together with just a little bit of glue to create some little drink bottles, potion bottles, whatever you want to call them, crystal glasses. So everything you see now are all the fixed items I wanted in place. I wanted to make sure that obviously all the lights are in the right place behind the bottles that I wanted to glow. And I also put all those little boxes on the walls full of those little trinkets, and the set of shelves in, and also the lights that hung off the shelves. So everything that was meant to be glowing is in its right place. From this point onwards, I could just be creative and put whatever I wanted, wherever it looked good, and really just try to bring this project to life. This honestly is my favourite part of building dioramas, putting on all these little tiny little objects that you've either made or found, and seeing which ones work well together and which ones don't. This does take a bit of time, but I like to play around with it and really find those objects that fit in and try to get as much in as possible without overloading those shelves. As you can see, I just added one of those boxes with 2 tiny little starfish that I had, and I also covered it with a tiny bit of perspex just to make it look like it was encased in glass. As I said before, I will be making a whole series of these box frame dioramas. I've got a few ideas and I've already got a couple lined up. But if any of you out there have any ideas or things you'd like to see, or maybe even a different theme that you'd like me to try out, then please do just let me know, leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to try and create the diorama that you have dreamed up. Now I do go along around these shelves and just fill it out with a bit of moss. I felt that it sort of just brought all of those bits of bottles and things together, and it covered a lot of gaps that I didn't like. We're just putting in a few crystals here, a little bit of fool's gold. Now I do try to keep these projects balanced. You might have noticed earlier on a picture when I was playing around with some ideas, that purple potion in the middle was actually meant to be a pink potion. But when the lights were on and looking like this, it just didn't work. The pink was too bright, it knocked the other colours out of sync. So I swapped that round to a purple, and I feel that it looks a little bit more cohesive. What do you think? Little boxes that I've made, this time containing a tiny shell, and again with some perspex on the front. I really do love these boxes and I'll definitely be using them again in the future. They're so easy to make and they really do look effective. You might notice that the one at the top, I did change that around. Originally it had a red piece of coral, but again it knocked the colours all out of sync, so I found a bluish stone that worked a lot better. I'm just filling it up here with some more bottles, crystals, moss, that sort of thing, to try and tie the 2 shelves together. Here I made a little gloche with a diamond in out of the top of a pipette, a little thing you suck up water with, and a cork. I felt it looked quite good, and it done the job I needed. Here the candles are made out of little bits of glue stick, which I literally just cut, melted slightly, stuck some little metal bits in the top to act as wicks, added a little bit of colour and painted them white just to make them look like candles. Again, really easy, really effective, and I'll definitely be using this again in future projects. We only need a few more items now to bring this all together. Now I don't show you this bit because I didn't record it, but I actually filled the floor with that cork substance I used earlier on, and the bit by the fire I just painted black. Again, just to bring the whole project together. Adding a few little more items and we're almost there. There we go, an alchemist workshop inside a picture frame that you can either hang on the wall and use as a nightlight, or just have it on during the day, however you see fit. I love how this project invites you in, it makes you want to look around, and even when you look back you might notice things that you didn't notice before. And I always feel that with a diorama it should be a scene that you want to step into, and like I have said, this will be a series, so if you do have any ideas, please send them my way. So there you can see I've scrolled up some little bits of paper, some crystals on the floor. You can also see how I've made the flooring there with that cork substance. Now, this isn't something I talk about often, but the reason why I do craft is really to help with my mental health. I find that having projects like this or focusing on things like this can really help me get my thoughts into order, and really does bring me joy. So yeah, I advise anyone out there, no matter how big or small your projects are, if they're bringing you joy, if you enjoy doing this thing, then do it. It's a great thing to get rid of any of those mental health gremlins that you may have. And of course my craft gremlins said, let's make a diorama inside a picture frame, and I want it to be an alchemist workshop, complete with potions, lotions, bottles, crystals, mystical, magical, and everything else in between. As with any projects, mistakes were made, and next time I do things round, I might do them a little bit differently, might change things up. So if you see anything out there that you think I should have done differently or even done a little bit easier, then do let me know. I'd love to hear any of your feedback. Now, before I go and leave you with some more pictures of this wonderful diorama, please don't forget to give us a little like and subscribe. Like I said before, it really does help YouTube's algorithm send my videos to a wider audience, and hopefully I can get a few more views, and definitely want some more feedback from you guys. Once again, I have been Rain, you have been fabulous, and I hope to catch you next week. Bye bye.